We'll be building a multi-agent system that's able to send personalized sales offers to customers to increase conversion and revenue. I'm building this with the Crew AI framework in combination with an N8N workflow. We will have 4 different agents: a customer data analyst, a customer profiling specialist, a sales offer strategist, and a technical offer formatter. In addition to that, the agents will have access to a range of different tasks. We will have a fetch customer data task, a create customer profiles task, generate personalized offers task, and a format offers task. And the system will have access to 2 different tools that we'll implement in this video. A Brave search tool, so that the agents will be able to search the web for updated information. And we will create a custom tool for Airtable to fetch customer data that we store in Airtable in this example because it's just easy to integrate. Welcome to Made by Agents. My name is Tobias Wupperfeld. Let's get started. We are in Airtable, and you see I created some dummy customer data. We have IDs here, we have customer names, we have email addresses, we have age, gender, location, and some other information. And we will use this data for our agents to create personalized sales offers. The first thing we need to do is we need to set up a new Crew AI project. And for that, we are heading over to their documentation and their installation description. First of all, we need to make sure that we have a Python version installed. This version needs to be between 3.10 and above, and below 3.13. This is very important. Copy this command, open up your terminal, and check which Python version you have installed. I had to switch to a lower version because I was already at 3.13 and it was not really working. So the next step is to install UV. I already did that. It's just this command, or if you're on Windows, then you see the command here and it should install it for you. Then after that, you can install the Crew AI CLI, which I already did as well. This is just this command here, and that's it. After that, we can finally create our Crew AI project by copying this command here, and I will cd into my dev folder and give it a different name. I will call it sales offer crew. Hit enter, and then it's creating the folder structure for us and asking us a few questions. For example, which LLM provider we want to use. Let's say OpenAI, and let's say GPT-4o Mini. We can change this later on. This is just for setting up the base structure. The API key, we need to create this first of all. Just hit enter, and now we can cd into this newly created folder and open up our code editor. So in this case, I'm using Cursor, and I will use AI now to speed this up a little bit, because you can spend days on fine-tuning and iterating over these agents, but I just want to give you an idea here in this video. So as you can see, we have some files and folders set up for us already. We have a source directory, a config folder, and here is our agent definition. Here are the tasks that we can assign to agents. And we have a tools folder with a custom tool, and we can create our own tools here. Then we have a crew.py file, which basically constructs our crew, sets the agents and the tasks that we want to use, and some additional parameters. And then we have the main.py file with the run function, which kicks off our sales offer crew in this case. What we want to do right now is use Claude 3.7, Sonic with Thinking, and Agent Mode prompted to create additional agents and tasks and tools for our use case. So for that, I would really like to add the code base as context, but it's not yet indexed. So we need to add the files manually. And let's also add the Crew AI documentation, which are already added. And now we can say something like,
I want to build a crew that is creating personalized sales offers for customers. The customer data comes from an Airtable. You need to create a custom tool for that. The idea is to create a personalized offer per customer, set up the agents, tests, and additional useful tools. The last agent should output a Pydantic object with the sales offers per customer so that I can create an API and use the data within my automation workflow. These are the available fields in my Airtable.
so I'm copying, pasting now the columns of my Airtable so that the Claude can create the correct tasks. And that's about it. Let's run it. So Claude now finished finally generating the code for us. Let's have a look. First of all, we don't need this file here. We can also delete this custom tool placeholder. Okay, so it created a model, Pydantic model for us with the custom ID, customer name, email, offer title, offer description, discount percentage, recommended products, and so on. All right, now we still have these agents here from the template that we need to delete. So it created 4 agents for us: a data analyst, extracts the data from Airtable. Then we have the customer profiling specialist. We have the offer creator, and we have the offer formatter, which outputs the structured data for us. Yeah, every agent has a role, goal, and backstory. That's part of the Crew AI framework. And in our tasks file, we also need to get rid of these template tasks. We have a fetch customer data task. We have the create customer profiles task, generate personalized offers task, and format offers for the API task, and already the agents assigned to it. We don't need to output this as a file. Now we have the Airtable tool. What we need to do now, and very important, we need to install the dependencies. So crew AI install, and this should now install everything that's defined here in this PyProject file. Okay, let's see. It's loading the environment variables here, the Airtable base ID, app table table name, and we also need an Airtable API key. And the URL looks correct. If we head over to airtable.com/developers and their documentation, we see here how the URL should look like, and we need to pass a bearer token. So this seems to be correct here with the bearer and the API key. In our .env file, we definitely need to provide these variables. The Airtable base ID, we get this from our table. And when we look at the URL, this part that starts with app is the base ID. We copy this and we paste this here. Then the Airtable table name customers is this one here. Customers is correct. And the Airtable API key for this, we need to go to airtable.com/create/tokens and create a new token here. Let's call it sales offer crew. And we need to set a scope. We only need to read access. So read records and read the base. And here we can also say it should only have access to the customer base. Then we create the token, copy it here, and paste it in our end file. Now it created 2 other tools for us. Offer code tool. We actually don't really need this right now. Yeah, I would say let's get rid of this. It's hallucinating a bit if you just prompt it like that. But yeah, I think for this example, it's okay. Let's remove these 2 tools here. Okay, and this is not passed in yet. So we have our Airtable tool here, the customer profiler. Yeah, doesn't need tools. Then we have the offer creator here. Let's give it a different tool. Let's give it a search tool, the Brave search tool. So it can search the web and maybe improve the offer this way. To import that, we need to say from crewai_tools import Brave search tool. All right. And then for this to work, we also need to provide an API key for the Brave search. And we can get it if we go to brave.com/search/API. We sign up here, then we get to the dashboard here, and we can create a free API key. Let's call it sales of a crew, add it, and then copy the key, paste it here. And that's it. Now our agent is able to search the web. So then we have the offer for meta agent. We have our tasks here assigned to the agents. And here, instead of the output file, we want to output a pydantic object, which we defined here in this model. And this also seems to be correct. Then in our main.py file, we actually don't need to pass in these variables again because we're already providing them in the tool itself. We can remove this. We can also remove this here from these other functions. All right, so let's give it a try. See if it's running locally. So we just enter crew AI run, and then let's see what we get. So we get an error here. Yeah.
If one fails, all fail.
Let's see what's the problem. Oh, okay. So we actually forgot to pass in our OpenAI key. We need to head over to the platform.openai.com, and our dashboard API keys, and then we create a new API key. Copy this, paste it in here as well. I think this is the right syntax here. So now it's running. The problem was that I forgot to add these braces here. So we see we're getting the data from the Airtable here. Now our customer data analyst is working. That's completed. So now the customer profiling specialist is working, and the sales office strategist, I'd used the Brave web search, got some search results here, and now it's passing on to the technical offer formatter. Okay, and we got our output here, offers and so on. What we can do now is push this to GitHub and just initialize a new Git repository. Then we head over to GitHub and create a new repository. It's called a sales offer crew. Make this public so you can check it out after the video. Create the repository. All right, so yeah, we need to add this. So then we add it, we commit it, initial commit, and we push it. All right, so this is now pushed to GitHub. Here it is, and Claude even generated a README for us. Now it's time to deploy the crew, and for that I'm using the Crew AI Enterprise platform. Here we are, I'm already logged in, and it's super easy to use. And yeah, what we need to do is connect it to our GitHub, what I already did. Okay, yeah, I want to use this repository sales of a crew main branch, automatically deploy new commits to the main branch. Here we need to specify now the environment variables that we also set locally. And for that, I only need to copy this, paste it in here, hit deploy, and that's it. So we now need to wait about like 10 minutes. So see you in a few seconds. Okay, we are back. It's finally deployed, and let's test our endpoints. So CrewAI Enterprise is automatically creating an API for us with 3 endpoints, one to get inputs, one to kick off the crew and start the process. And then we have a status endpoint, which we need to receive the data actually and the results. Let's see. So we can test it here. For example, send a request. We get an 200 code back with the kickoff ID. We could now copy this kickoff ID, paste it here, and to get the status. The status is now running. So this is running here now. So what I want to do right now is create a basic workflow in N8N to actually take this result and send emails to these customers. We copy the URL here and go to N8N. I have this self-hosted on my server, but you could also just register for a free trial and test it out. It's pretty cool. So we start from scratch. Start by creating an HTTP request, and we want to make a post request to this URL and to the kickoff endpoint to start the crew. And for the authentication, we need a header authentication crew AI with the crew AI token. So here we need to type Bira space, and then we go back, copy our Bira token here and paste it here, and then save this. And for the body, as we are not sending any inputs, we still need to say, okay, empty object here. So we need to specify an empty object here to make this work. And let's call this kickoff crew. Then after that, we need another HTTP request to get the status. So let's name this get status, get request. Let's copy this again. Status. And then here we need actually the kickoff ID. So let's do this later. And the same crew AI token. Perfect. Let's test run this step to get a kickoff ID. So here we got the kickoff ID. Then we can go to the status and make the reference here. Kickoff crew dot item dot JSON dot kickoff ID. All right, let's close this. So we want to run this now in a loop because it can take 30, 40, 50 seconds or a minute for our crew to finish. And only when it's finished, the status will turn to success and we will get the result. So we need to run this get status endpoint several times. And in order to do that, we need to add an if condition. Yeah, let's test this step as well. So we still get a running here, still running. But we can now say if the state is equal to success, then in this case the if condition is true and we will continue with the next task within the workflow. So let's test this step, and at the moment it's false because it's still running. And if it's false, we want to wait for, let's say, 15 seconds. And after that, we try running this endpoint again. If the crew finished, then we want to edit the fields at a set node here. And for that, we actually need to wait till it's successful. And then after that, we need to split out And then we need the email, send email node. So I already set up my SMTP account here. So in order to send emails, I mean, there are several providers, tools, and ways to do it, Gmail and whatever. For this test, I already set up an SMTP account, my mail account to send the emails. You can see here you need to provide the user, password, host, port, and so on. So I want to send this from my email address, no reply at madebyagents.com, and to want to send this to hello at madebyagents.com just for this test. So let's run this again, see if it's now successful. All right, perfect. So now we got the success state here. So in this case, we will get to this stage here where we added the fields. So let's run this as well. All right, so the if condition is true now. We want to extract now the data here from the result. We say we want to have an offers array, and we select here this get status node, the item, and think, we need to run this again because we can access the data here. Okay, now we got it. Results, and we want to parse this, and we want to get this offers. Let's test this step. And we get an array here now with these offers, offer 0, 1, 2, and so on. All right, now we want to split this so that we can send an email to each one of these customers. And for that, we actually only need to pull in the offers here. Let's test this step. All right, we got some items. 1, 2, 3, 4. A few items are missing here, but I think it's all right. And now in this email node, we can select subject line. Let's take this offer title, or we can edit the email body. We can pass in an HTML actually. So what we can do now is we can go back to cursor and let it generate an HTML template for us, which we can then populate with these fields. So it's kind of dynamic. Let's go back to cursor and say
Generate a simple HTML email template for the personalized offers. These fields should be dynamic. Then we paste in the fields. Let's remove this example data. For the description, we have the discount percentage. Then we have the recommended products. We look over the validity date, personal message. We have offer code. Then we have the reason. All right.
So now we got our template here. Let's copy this, go back, paste it, and open this up. So all these red marked fields now, they are dynamic, should be dynamic, and we need to replace them with the actual data here. So the customer name here, for example, let's start with that. And we pull this in here. Now you see on the right side here, we got the actual name now, and it's green. And we continue with this now. It's a bit ugly, but this is how it is. So here we need to format the date as well, because this is kind of ugly. So we can do this as well here in N8N, let's say to datetime format. And this is all much better. All right, now we are done, I would say. Let's test this entire workflow and see if we get some emails. So the workflow finally executed successfully. Took quite a long time, to run through. So you see like 11 loops before it went on and sent the emails. 12 emails is what we should have gotten now based on our customer data. So let's check the emails, and yeah, we got 12 emails, and we see here the first email: hello Michael Chen, products we recommend for you, smartwatches, wireless headphones, use this code, and so on. Quite a nice HTML template and so on. Here the next one, and here beauty recommendations and other stuff. Let's say here, for example, Isabella Kim got some beauty recommendations. Let's check back with our company data. We go back to the table. Isabella Kim here, female, and so on. Her preferred category is beauty, and recently viewed items, Korean skincare, hair products. She got some beauty products recommendations. I think it's working. It's working already. Obviously, I mean, you can spend days refining this, iterating over this, and so on. This is just to give you an idea how this could work and how you can combine Crew AI with N8N workflows. Hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one.